You got this. Go show them what you got. I know I do.
What if the biggest surprise about Nene Royal was not what she did on the America's Got Talent stage, but everything that happened before the cameras ever found her? When Nene Royal first appeared on America's Got Talent, the contrast was almost impossible to miss. She looked young, quiet, and visibly nervous. But that image lasted only until she picked up her guitar. Then came Zombie. Within moments, the teenager from Phuket, Thailand, transformed from a nervous contestant into a performer who looked completely at home under the spotlight. Her powerful vocals, aggressive guitar playing, and confident stage presence immediately changed the atmosphere inside the theater. All 4 judges said yes, and the audience gave her a standing ovation. But here is the part that can easily get lost when a television audition becomes viral. Nene was not simply a random teenager who suddenly discovered fame on America's Got Talent. Her musical journey had already been developing for years. According to official and Thai sources, Nene began learning guitar when she was very young and developed much of her ability by teaching herself through online videos and learning songs by ear. She also built experience performing in public, including appearances at markets in Phuket. So when she walked onto that massive America's Got Talent stage, she was not truly performing for the first time. She was simply performing for a much bigger audience. And that distinction matters.
Because the television edit gives viewers a powerful before and after moment. We see the shy teenager, then we hear the guitar, then suddenly we see the rock performer. But behind that transformation were years of practice, live performances, competition experience, and a growing audience. And that may be the first thing America's Got Talent did not fully explain. Nene did not arrive from nowhere. She had already been building her identity as a musician long before America discovered her. And once you understand that, her America's Got Talent audition becomes even more impressive. It was not the beginning of Nene Royal's story. It was the moment the rest of the world finally started paying attention. Here is another detail many casual America's Got Talent viewers may not realize. Nene Royal was already a recognized young musician before she walked onto the America's Got Talent stage. Her online audience had reportedly grown to more than 3 million followers across social platforms. She had also appeared on Thai television and competed in major music competitions. She was not simply learning guitar in her bedroom and hoping for one lucky audition. Her background includes the Overdrive Guitar Contest, where she became first runner-up in 2023, and the King Power Band Competition, where she received an Outstanding Player Award in 2025. She was also selected as a featured artist by Enya Music.
Those details completely change the way we should look at her America's Got Talent appearance. For many contestants, America's Got Talent is the place where the public discovers them for the first time. For Nene, it was something different. It was a launch pad. She already had an audience. She already had a performance identity. She already had years of experience. And that is important because her story is sometimes simplified into one sentence. 16-year-old girl from Thailand surprises America. That makes for a great headline, but the real story is much more interesting. She was a young musician from Phuket who had spent years developing her craft, performing for real audiences, competing, creating online content, and building a following before stepping onto one of the world's biggest talent show stages. Even her choice of Zombie was significant. The song is instantly recognizable, but Nene did not simply copy the original performance. She brought her own guitar style, heavier sound, vocal intensity, and stage energy to the song. That combination made the performance feel bigger than a simple cover, and it also explains why viewers reacted so strongly. They were not just watching a talented teenager play guitar, they were watching someone who already understood how to perform. That experience is easy to overlook when the cameras focus on the emotional story, but talent shows often create the illusion that a contestant's journey begins when they walk through the audition doors.
For Nene Royal, it clearly did not. America's Got Talent may have introduced her to a massive international television audience, but Nene had already introduced herself to the music world long before that. Now, there is one moment that defines Nene Royal's entire America's Got Talent journey: the opening of Zombie. Before that moment, viewers saw a young contestant preparing herself for an intimidating audition. Then the guitar started, and suddenly, everything changed. The performance became a combination of vocals, electric guitar, attitude, and stage presence.
Nene's version of Zombie was powerful because she did not approach the song like someone simply trying to imitate Dolores O'Riordan. She brought her own personality into it. Her guitar technique became one of the biggest talking points. Viewers noticed the precision, the heavier tone, the lead guitar moments, and the two-hand tapping technique that had already become part of her musical identity. The result was a performance that felt surprisingly mature for someone so young. But there is another layer to the story. Nene was still 15 when the audition was filmed. She told the judges that her 16th birthday was the following day, and the stage suddenly became more than just an audition. The judges and audience celebrated her birthday with her. That emotional detail became part of the story surrounding the performance. But it is important to separate emotion from fact. The birthday moment is real. The 4 yes votes are real.
The standing ovation is real. Her musical ability is clearly visible in the performance. But claims that the audition automatically made her the future winner of America's Got Talent are something else entirely. Those are predictions, and that distinction matters. A viral audition can create enormous excitement, but America's Got Talent is a competition, not simply a popularity contest. A contestant can become the biggest viral sensation of an episode and still face difficult competition later. So when people say Nene destroyed the competition or claim that she was guaranteed to win, those statements should be understood as fan reactions, not official results. What is official is much simpler. Nene walked onto the America's Got Talent stage. She performed Zombie. She received 4 yes votes. She became one of the season's most talked about young musicians. And the performance introduced millions of viewers to a guitarist from Phuket who had already spent years preparing for a moment exactly like this. The viral explosion was not the proof of her talent. It was the consequence of people finally seeing it. But there is another part of Nene Royal's story that deserves attention. Before the television lights, before the America's Got Talent judges, before the viral videos, there was Phuket. And this is where Nene Royal's story becomes much more personal. Reports from Thailand describe Nene as a young performer who regularly played in local markets in Phuket.
That kind of environment is completely different from a television talent show. At a market, the audience does not have to listen. People walk past. Some stop, some keep talking. Some may listen to an entire song. Others may only hear a few seconds before continuing with their evening. For a young performer, that environment can teach something that a rehearsal room cannot. How to capture attention, how to control nerves, how to keep playing when nobody is watching, and how to create energy without being handed the attention first. Nene's history as a market performer helps explain why her America's Got Talent stage presence seemed so natural once the music began. The cameras were bigger, the audience was larger, the stakes were higher, but the basic challenge was familiar: make people stop and listen. That is one of the most powerful parts of her story because it shows that her development was not built entirely around television. She was learning through performance. She was testing songs in front of real people. She was developing confidence in environments where there was no guarantee anyone would care. And eventually, those skills followed her to America. There is also something important about the phrase street performer. It can sound romantic when told after someone becomes successful, but performing publicly is still work. It requires preparation, consistency, and the willingness to perform even when the crowd is unpredictable. That background does not automatically make someone a superstar, but it can build a type of confidence that is difficult to manufacture. And when Nene stepped onto America's Got Talent, that experience appeared to be part of what made the transformation so convincing. The nervous introduction was believable. The explosive performance was believable, because both sides were real. She could be a shy teenager and a commanding performer at the same time. And perhaps that is what viewers connected with most. Nene did not need to pretend she was fearless. She simply needed to start playing. Once the music began, the fear seemed to disappear. And the girl from the Phuket markets suddenly looked like she belonged on a global stage. But this is where the story gets more complicated. After Nene's Zombie audition exploded online, many viewers assumed the next step was obvious: 4 yes votes, straight to the live shows. But America's Got Talent changed the format in season 21. Receiving 4 yes votes was no longer enough to guarantee a place in the live shows.
Instead, selected contestants could be brought back for a new stage called the Judges' Callbacks. That meant Nene's journey was not finished after the audition. She had another test. And this time, the challenge was different. The judges had already seen what she could do. Now they needed to decide whether she belonged among the limited number of acts moving forward.
According to reporting on the new format, there were 44 live show places available, with 10 already connected to Golden Buzzer acts, leaving 34 remaining positions to be filled. That created a much more competitive situation. 4 yes votes could get you noticed, but they did not guarantee the next stage. For Nene, that meant the viral zombie performance was only chapter 1. And this is where some online rumors need to be handled carefully. Fans began predicting that she would win. Others suggested she was already one of the strongest contestants of the season. Those reactions are understandable. Her audition was extremely popular, but popularity is not an official result. Until America's Got Talent confirms a placement, a prediction remains a prediction. What we can confirm is that Nene advanced to the judges' callbacks. She was placed in Howie Mandel's callback group, and that brought an entirely new question. Could she do it again? Because one great performance can be explained as a breakthrough. 2 great performances start to look like consistency, and consistency is what separates a viral moment from a serious competition run. That is why the callback mattered so much. Nene was no longer the unknown teenager standing in front of the judges. Now everyone knew what she could do. The expectations were higher, the pressure was higher, and the audience was watching to see whether Zombie was the beginning of something much bigger. The answer came when Nene picked up her guitar again. And this time, she chose a completely different song. If Zombie introduced Nene Royal to the world, Hysteria showed why the first performance was not a fluke. During the judges' callbacks, Nene returned with another rock performance. This time, the song was Muse's Hysteria. And once again, the guitar became the center of attention. The performance gave Nene a different opportunity. Zombie had emotional weight and instant familiarity. Hysteria demanded something else. It required attitude, technical control, rhythm, vocals, and the ability to command the performance from beginning to end. Reports described Nene using an Ibanez guitar and a Line 6 amp modeler for the callback performance, while continuing to combine vocals with demanding guitar work. And once again, the judges responded. Howie Mandel encouraged her to show more of her personality and showmanship. Guest judge Nikki Glazer also reacted enthusiastically to the performance. That matters because the callback was not simply another audition. It was a test of whether Nene could evolve. Could she take what worked before and deliver something new? Could she prove that her identity was bigger than one Cranberry song? Hysteria gave her the chance, and it also changed the conversation around her. After Zombie, people were talking about the surprise. After Hysteria, the conversation became more about consistency. That is a much more serious kind of attention. Still, we have to be careful with one thing. Fans online may describe a performance as the best of the night, or claim that a contestant is guaranteed to advance. Those are opinions unless the show officially confirms them. The verified story is enough. Nene returned. She performed another demanding rock song. She demonstrated her guitar skills again. She received positive reactions from the judges and audience, and her America's Got Talent journey continued to move forward. For a 16-year-old performer, that is already a remarkable achievement. But the biggest question remained. Would America finally get to see Nene perform live in the next stage? That question was no longer about whether she had talent. It was about whether the judges believed she had what it takes to compete under even greater pressure. And perhaps the most interesting part of Nene Royal's story is not actually her guitar technique. It may be the person behind it. Because when a contestant becomes viral, the audience often sees only the performance, a few minutes on television, a reaction from the judges, a standing ovation, a dramatic edit. Then the internet takes over. But Nene's story existed long before that. She had been learning music from a young age. She developed her guitar skills through self-directed practice. She performed publicly. She competed. She built an online audience. And she continued working toward original music. Her official website describes her as an award-winning guitarist, vocalist, and performing artist from Phuket, with more than 3 million followers and a debut EP in development. That is important because it shows that America's Got Talent is not necessarily the destination. For Nene, it can be part of a much larger career. Her stated dream has been to become a superstar who can tour around the world. And now, that dream has moved from a distant idea to something much more tangible. But there is another reason her story stands out. She is still incredibly young. At an age when many musicians are still figuring out what kind of artist they want to become, Nene is already developing a recognizable identity. Guitarist, singer, performer, content creator, live musician, and now America's Got Talent contestant. That does not guarantee a career. Talent shows can open doors, but the difficult part often begins after the television moment ends. The challenge is creating original music, building a sustainable audience, developing a sound, handling expectations, and proving that the performer people loved in a few minutes of television can become an artist people want to follow for years. That is why the debut EP could ultimately become more important than any America's Got Talent reaction. Because covers can introduce an artist, original songs define one. Nene already has the attention. Now the bigger question is what she will do with it. And that is something America's Got Talent cannot answer for her.
The show can provide the stage, it can provide the exposure, it can create the viral moment, but the career afterward belongs to Nene. And perhaps that is the part of her story viewers should be watching most closely. So what did America's Got Talent not tell you about Nene Royal? Maybe the answer is surprisingly simple. The show did not create Nene Royal, it revealed her. The teenager who walked onto the America's Got Talent stage had already spent years building her skills. She had already performed in Phuket. She had already competed in music competitions. She had already developed an online audience of more than 3 million followers. She had already been recognized by a major instrument brand. And she had already begun working toward original music. Then came Zombie. 4 yes votes, a standing ovation, a viral explosion. And suddenly, the world was asking one question: who is Nene Royal? But by the time that question reached international audiences, Nene had already been working toward the answer for years. Then came the judges' callbacks, hysteria, another demanding performance, another opportunity to prove that her first America's Got Talent appearance was not simply a lucky moment. And that may be the most important takeaway from this entire story. Do not judge Nene only by the television edit. Look at the journey behind the edit. Look at the years of practice. Look at the markets in Phuket. Look at the competitions. Look at the online community she built before America's Got Talent.
Look at the courage required to walk onto that stage while still so young. And then look at what happened when the music started. That is where the story becomes bigger than America's Got Talent. Because Nene Royal is no longer just the teenager who surprised 4 judges with Zombie. She is becoming an artist with her own audience, her own ambitions, and potentially her own future in the global music industry. Of course, we should keep the rumors in their proper place. Nobody can honestly guarantee that she will win the entire competition. Nobody can predict exactly how far her career will go, and viral popularity does not automatically equal a championship. Those things remain unknown. But what is known is already impressive. A young musician from Phuket walked on to one of the world's biggest talent show stages. She faced the pressure. She played. She sang. She earned 4 yes votes. She returned for the judges' callbacks, and she continued proving that there was much more behind the shy smile than the cameras initially revealed. So perhaps the real headline is not that America's Got Talent discovered Nene Royal. Perhaps the better headline is this: America's Got Talent finally gave the world a bigger stage on which to discover what Phuket had already been watching for years. And if this is only the beginning, then Nene Royal's most important performance may still be waiting for us.